Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's live session. I hope all of you are doing well. So, today we're going to be discussing about entrepreneurship, business, and more. And our guest for the evening is Vaishnavi Rangarajan. She's the co founder of The Nestry, which is a community led e commerce platform for the modern parent. And they have everything from clothes to toys to daily essentials and anything and everything that your child might need. So I'm going to quickly let Vaishnavi in and start the session. Hi, good evening, Vaishnavi.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you doing?
Okay, perfect. I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Okay, so firstly, welcome to our live session and thank you so much for doing this with us.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. I very rarely get opportunities to speak to uh, people, so I'm like very happy. Like since the pandemic has started, staying indoors. This is really like nice. Thank you.
That the electric
Yeah.
blue is so.
I just wanted something different, I'm like so done with this whole pandemic and being like, cooped up and cautious. I was like, okay, let's do something different. Just
All right.
wanted something different.
Awesome. So I have a bunch of questions for you, which I'm really eager to ask you. And once I'm done with my questions, I think the audience can also ask their questions. And guys, put them in the comments below or the question section, and we'll take them up once we're done with our questions. So actually, I have told our viewers a little bit about yourself, but we would want to know more. So, how did you start your career? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay, so you know my name, Vaishnavi. I'm the co-founder of the Nestry, and I'm a parent to Meera. She's my 6-year-old. She's soon to be 7 years this April, and Nestry is like my dream come true in terms of what I'm doing with my career because I never ever thought I would be an entrepreneur. I'm like the first woman entrepreneur in my family. Like for as long as like I can like figure out how as long as my family goes, I'm the first woman entrepreneur. So like yeah, so this has been like a very very lovely journey, like 10 years in corporate world. I was in Deloitte in consulting. Before that I was in qualitative research, I was in branding, I was doing like I feel like I drifted my way into starting the Nestry, and I'm very grateful that I did. So that's me.
So, I mean, I know you spoke about the fact that you never thought that you'd be an entrepreneur. So that was kind of my next question. Like, so you never ever felt like you had any entrepreneurial traits or anything that that you want to start of your own?
Okay, so if I'm going to be like really honest, I think somewhere in my teenage years, I drew a layout for some retail store in some doodled the layout for some retail store, like a common hangout space sort of thing in some notebook. But then I never really gave it too much thought because I come from like a solid middle class family. Both my parents are bankers. We've traveled, like we've lived all over the country. Like the whole mindset was to, finish your 12th, ideally do engineering, which I didn't, and then do your MBA and then sort of settle into like the corporate life. I did a lot of it. I didn't do the engineering. I am so thankful that I didn't. I would have sucked as an engineer. But yeah, so I did the MBA part and I did the corporate part. Uh, like that doodle was like somewhere in the back of my head. I never really gave it too much thought until like one day it literally struck me that I have to do this. And if I don't like take this leap of faith and start something of my own at I started it at like 28, 29. If I don't do this now, I'll never ever do something like this. And yeah, that's it. Leaped, leaped into it.
So, was there any moment in life or a turning point that, or, what led you to actually take the first step? Like, how do you get the courage to just be like, I'm going to start this now?
Okay. So my daughter was born in 2015. Till then, I was very happy with my previous job in Deloitte. I had lovely leaders, wonderful team. It was so nice to be working there. It was such a flexible workspace. I thought I would never leave Deloitte in my life. Like my parents were so surprised that I did. But the thing is, what I went through after I became a parent. In fact, I had a fairly reasonably easy journey. But what I mean is, I was a very clueless parent, right? I knew nothing about parenting. I lived in Bombay alone with my husband. I knew nothing. So I relied tremendously on communities like yours, right? Like yours, a women-based community. I relied on parenting communities to sort of help me define what kind of a parent I am. This was in 2016. I was looking at so many brands getting launched, right? Like brands that we hear of today that are so big, Super Bottoms, Mom's Co, Mama Earth, Shumi, all of them like sort of came up around that time. And I was like, wow, there are so many amazing brands that are coming up. It's so hard for me to find these elsewhere. I feel like I need to be part of this privileged set of groups for me to actually discover these. And and for me to even know that I need some of these things, I would have never figured out had I not been part of a lot of those communities, right? For me, the need to simplify what I was going through to what I need was the reason why I started the nursery, right? Like what I was going through, I'll give you an example. I used to have terrible shoulder ache when I was nursing my baby in the first few weeks. And I just didn't know like what was I supposed to do until I figured out that a nursing pillow is what I needed, a situation that I was going through and a product that I needed. But if I went to any other space that existed, I needed to know what I was looking for, which is what I was relying on all of those groups as proxy for, right? So I wanted to create that space that reduced the thinking. Let us do the thinking for you, right? So that's what led me to start the nursery.
That's really
Sorry, I spoke a lot. Long answer.
No, no, we love long answers and we love that you're sharing little anecdotes from your life. So can you tell us a bit about the Nestry and what is its USP?
So the USP of the nursery is exactly what told you. We do the thinking for the parent. We take care of safety, quality. We take care of like every situation that you'll go through as a parent. You don't have to translate that into what you need. We are there for doing that. So that's what we do. We do the thinking for you. And we have everything from maternity until your child is really ready to let go of your fingers and, sort of be their own decision makers. Um, so we have everything from maternity until, like I would say, increasingly that age is becoming younger, but I would say until at least 10 years, we have things up to like maternity until 10.
That's awesome. It's like a one-stop shop for any new parent until their kids grow up.
Yeah.
That's perfect. So you're a mom and also you are a mom to a company. So there are two different things that you're running at the same time. So what does your typical day look like?
I am very, very lucky in life. I am so privileged that I don't know if everyone knows. My co-founder at the Neshi, I have two co-founders. One is actually my husband. He used to be working with Paytm and he literally took like the leap of faith, the really big decision that, we are going to be doing this together. For us as a family, it's a huge decision, right? Like, so he's a co-founder. So we are actually terribly equal parents. In fact, I'd say that like he's a far more engaging and more fun parent than I am. And my second co-founder is also a parent, whom I met through one of the communities that I was talking about, Aparna. So that's been a great fit as well. So like I'm terribly privileged like that, so that I'm not going through this journey, like at least being the parent to the business, I'm not doing that alone. I have wonderful people, wonderfully capable people assisting me in this. Then on the home side, my, like I have the most empathetic child in the planet. Um, she's she calls herself the co-founder of the Nestry, chief stickering officer of the Nestry, because we used to pack all the products until like a few months back. Like I have a terribly empathetic child, who's who says "Amma" all the best when I go for when I go for meetings. So I have been tremendously lucky like that. Yes, this entire pandemic situation has put a lot of pressure. It has been a very guilt-ridden journey. That if I dedicate more time towards work, I always feel like I'm not doing right by my daughter, no matter how amazing she is. But it's been a tough task balancing both. I wouldn't say it's easy. It's not easy on any working parent. It's okay. Let me say this. It's not easy on any parent. I think I'm wrong to say it's not easy on any working parent. It's not easy on any parent. But we all have survived until now. Let's just get through until like the world gets back to a semblance of normalcy.
Absolutely, and that's really cute that your daughter calls herself co-founder of the Nestle. That's just adorable. So I want to know, like, is there like a specific formula, or are there any traits or characteristics a person has to have to sort of excel in being an entrepreneur or leading a company? What are your thoughts on that?
Like I said, I'm a first-time entrepreneur. I am absolutely not any kind of expert on this. But for me, what has held me in good stead is being resilient, open to taking no as an answer, like again and again and again and again, until it becomes a yes. Um, like basically also thriving in ambiguity, because there is zero yes or no answers, or there is no like black or white answers in anything, right? Thriving, like ability to take decisions when there is not enough information present. So these are like, I would say, like the greatest strengths. In terms of like, if I were to think about weaknesses, uh, I would like, one of the biggest like weakness that hinders at least me in entrepreneurship is like it's so hard to delegate. It's a learned skill. It's really a learned skill, especially when like as your team expands, when you are like a really small close knit team, it's very easy. Everyone is taking the same level of ownership that you do. But as the team expands, letting go and empowering others to sort of do their job, it's been a learned skill for me. It's really been a learned skill for me. So that's like, I would say, my greatest weakness.
And what has been the most satisfying moment in business since the time the Nestle was born?
I think the day we registered for health insurance for our team, right? Like, and we got so we've always done things by the book. For me to be able to say that, beyond just offering someone like a salary, I was able to like do something above and beyond. That meant a lot to me, okay? Like, and like, that meant a lot, that I was like not doing just the bare minimum as an employee, like because you also feel terribly guilty, because in the early stages it's about believers, right? People who join you are joining you because they believe that this is going to become big, this is going to be the next big thing, right? They're joining you for that. They're not joining you because I'm going to be like a pay, like master mistress, like Google or Facebook or someone like that. So but that guilt is always there, that um, like like folks are doing so much for you when you're not able to do so much for them. So that was a very satisfying moment for me, that when we were able to do, like it's a really small step, but still, right? Like when we were able to go even slightly beyond.
No, that's amazing. Because I personally know so many people who don't even get health insurance at their companies, and that's something that everyone should be probably doing, and that's really sweet of you. Um, So I mean, my next question is you're a female entrepreneur, and but you do have co-founders working with you. But as a female entrepreneur, were there any sort of specific challenges that you faced, when you started the company?
Um, Being taken seriously. So in the beginning, obviously, none of us have fancy offices. We all work from home. So one day, me and Aparna were working from my home in Noida. We are currently based out of Bangalore. Aparna is still in Noida, by the way. So we were working out of our home, and our children were playing in a separate room. We were meeting a distributor uh, who assumed, who came to our house to basically like take down our requirements for books or something. And when he went and made a report to his boss, he'd written down that we run a home-based daycare, right? Like, and this is when we had told him what our business model is, what is it that we are doing, and all of that, right? Like ability to like being like taken seriously. Um, like just like the something small, it just stuck with me, okay? And people calling like the other thing that like really irks me. I know a lot of people take it as like a badge of pride, but being called a mompreneur, right? I am an entrepreneur in my own right, and I encourage every single entrepreneur that I work with, and we work with a lot of women-led businesses, that you know your identity as an entrepreneur is beyond that of your you being a mother, right? So that's something that's really important to me. But that said, one really like striking thing that I've realized in the recent past is like we had gone out to a place where like startups were meeting up, and in Bangalore, it was a large group. It had 60 companies like that had turned up there, and there were two women, right, including me. That's when I kind of realized that like there is a disparity. I never believed that because we work with so many women-led businesses. I never really believed that, but the ones that are going after, like, uh, scaling aggressively and like all of that are like dominated by men. Like 60 companies had two women founders, two. And it was really, really striking, and I kind of get why there is like so much focus on women entrepreneurs in the ecosystem now. And like I understand why so little folks get VC money, why there are so many people, like so few, Fortune 100, 500 CEOs who are women. That's because the pipeline itself is so small.
Absolutely. Yeah. The numbers are very sad when it comes to, number of women entrepreneurs out there. So do you also worry that being a strong female leader, you'll intimidate men or, be it people who are working in your own company or other men? Like, do you feel that?
No, I don't think, at least I intimidate folks. At least I would like to believe that. Uh, I've never really come across that situation. So I know that I can be fairly disarming to folks, like because of the way I come across. So I never, I don't think I've been intimidated or intimidating to anyone, and I haven't been in that situation, so I really don't know what to say.
Okay, no worries. So my next question is, so had the Nestry for over 2 years now. So what are your tips for growing the company? What have been your, you would have done a lot of trial and error. So what's worked for you, and what are your best tips for growing the company?
Blood, sweat, tears, infinite hard work, like unbelievable frustration, but also very very like tips for go. Yeah, that's basically there's really no other substitute to that. But the greatest tip is just get started, no matter how complicated it may sound. Just take that first step. you'll figure it out.
I think that's those are the only words I think women need out there, because I mean we all, the biggest problem with all of us is just that we don't start. We just don't start. All of it just intimidates us a lot. And
The
yeah, thanks.
inertia is crazy. It
Yeah.
took me it took me almost 2.5 years from the time I had the idea for the nursery to actually get started. Like it was so scary. And I would say like that my greatest cheerleader was my husband. I know it sounds terribly cliched, but it is what it is. And he was his cheer. I wouldn't say cheerleader. I would say he was the person, because he'd be like, get the first product out, get the first product out. It doesn't matter what you call your company, get the first product out.
That's
And this is when I was agonizing over what we should name the company. He's like, get the first product out. Though I don't care if you call it pqr.com or abc.com. Just get started.
that's awesome.
So
I think
yeah.
we need cheerleaders like that to, push us to just get started with things. And thank you for being so raw and real about what it is to be an entrepreneur, because I think people just glamorize the whole thing that, they just can be the bosses and run things. But I mean
Oh no. So much
your
responsibility.
there's like literally blood, sweat, tears, and a lot of hard work day in and day out. So yeah. So my next question is like, how do you actually have a healthy work-life balance? How do you strive to achieve that?
Such a bad question. Such a bad question. This is, but work-life balance, I'll be honest, it has helped that we've been at home, but it also drives up the guilt that you're at home, but you're not spending any time with your child. Um, what we do is Sundays are 100% non-working days, at least for me and Vishy. In fact, everyone in the company, we make it a point to ignore that we all exist. Like we literally ignore each other. If someone messages also, we're like, I didn't see what you wrote there type behavior we do. Like so Sundays are absolutely, like even if like the world is like only if the world is crashing is when like we sort of like step into this. This is also because we are a team primarily that has parents, and we want to respect that boundary. Like I know that being in an early stage startup, it is very hustly, it is lots of hard work, but everyone needs that one day to sort of recharge, and we want to be respectful from day one about it. Like, and that's the culture that we want to build, right? Like कुछ भी हो संडे को कोई आपको तंग नहीं करेगा. Like that's definitely work life balance. We have like we're a fully remote team. We're a fully remote team. So like we're 100%, like we have people from all over the world. We have folks from Singapore who work with us, right?
Wow.
So it's fun. Everyone maintains their own work times, but everyone knows that uh, when it's needed, everyone will jump in, roll up our sleeves, and just get the job done. That much I'm so happy about the team that I've built, right? Uh, Work-life balance, we all try to step away from the laptop at a reasonable hour, and like basically dinner at the table is like mandatory. Uh, that's what we have been limitedly, at least within our family, we've been able to enforce. Yeah, so that's. I know it doesn't say much. I'm sheepish. This is my sheepish grin, but yeah.
Achieve one meal with the family, so that's great. And I mean, I really like the way you spoke about the people who work for you. I mean, that's really endearing, and that just speaks of who you are as a person. um so my next question is, what are your secrets for success, and what do you want to achieve next? What are your goals for the next year, in the coming year?
Secrets of success. Just get started. I'm really telling you, that's the only secret to success. Like you not even know what success is if you don't get started, right? Or like if you don't ask, like or पूछने में क्या जाता है, right? So basically get started. That's the only secret to my success. What do I want to achieve next? I want to grow. the nestry into something huge, right? I want to grow it to be an empathetic platform for parents, somewhere where, like, what I was able to find in those communities when I became a new parent, all my questions answered, everything I needed in one place, right? I want that for my people in the sense, the parents, right? That align with the nursery, and we want to give you the right kind of information, the right kind of products. We want to do the hard work for you so that you can spend the time with your kids, right? So that's and I want to grow the nursery into something really big. The ambitions are huge. The intent is right. Now remains the execution.
That's awesome. And we wish you all the best. And I mean, we're just hoping that the Nestry becomes everything that you dream for it and more. And guys, please do check out their platform. Their Instagram handle is called thenestry.in, and we'll leave all the links. And also save this live session so that you can go back and watch and learn from Vaishnavi's inspiring story. And guys, if you have any questions for Vaishnavi, please put them in. Somebody is asking, how can I introduce my brand on the Nestry?
Okay, you can just drop us an email at hello@thenestry.in, and I'm just gonna try and type that in. I'm very bad at this. Hello. Believe it or not, I don't have my own Instagram ID. I am I am that person. So yeah, hello@thenestry.in, and you can just drop an email there if you want to list your brand with us. There's a lot of work that goes in before anything gets listed, huh? So I'm just like giving you a heads up. Yeah.
Wings of Caterpillar says, lovely listening to you with a heart. A lot of people have said hi. Guys, if you have any questions for Vaishnavi, please put them in. Okay, I think
I can see Tripathi, like I'm not sure what that question is.
even I can just party, and then there's a hi from somebody else. Okay. All right, I don't think we have any questions from the audience. Vaishnavi, thank you again for doing this with us. And I've had so much fun talking to you, and I'm so inspired listening to your story. And we wish you all the best for, the Nestry. And yeah, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Like I said, very grateful to talk to other human beings. I'm such a face-to-face person, so this is really helpful. Uh, yeah, thank you everyone for just signing in and listening to me. I'm a bit of
So everybody
sorry.
really, somebody has commented that they love your products on the website. Divya K.
Oh, thank you, thank you. We put in so much hard work before anything goes up on the nursery. It's. I mean, I will be ableist and say it's ridiculous the amount of effort we put in. So, like every time we hear that, I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I've checked out the website and everything is so cute. And I've recently just become an aunt. I have like two nieces, like they're twins, and I can't wait to shop something for them from your website. So, yeah.
Lovely. Please do come.
All right.
Okay, folks. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a nice weekend.